as a woman, you're valuable if you're partnered or you're married. And that belief system caused me to overlook things that I should never, ever have overlooked.
You said that your work and that calling for you has been one of your stabilizing things.
I had more of a calling. Just do this makeup brand. I had something to say about beauty. I love beautiful things. I feel destined to make beautiful things. We've had steady growth, but I think what happens is the steady growth means you eventually get to this like size where there's more weight. You can feel that weight in the marketplace.
I remember seeing a brand on TikTok where Taylor Swift used it and all of a sudden they were sold out.
That would be cool if Taylor Swift used Kosas.
What about when you see like Hailey Bieber using your concealer?
It's so cool. And she used it first 3, maybe 4 years ago. It was amazing and exciting just because I like seeing the product in the real world. She was so intentional with it. It felt like a new perspective.
What is your most unhinged recent beauty purchase?
I don't purchase beauty things. Is that crazy? Yeah. Okay, fine.
You don't have to. You have all the best products. First of all, I've been a fan of your products for so long. I mean, you've had Kosas for what, 11 years now?
Almost, yeah.
Okay.
10 years.
So you were one of the first, I feel like, to get in this game. Like now it's so crazy. I just had Shawnee Darden on just before you, and she was talking about her first product, I think was 11 years ago as well. And she started just because she wanted one product that she couldn't find. And I know that you started with 4 lipsticks?
I started with 4 lipsticks. Yeah, I had like a real strong vision about the makeup I wanted to create, but it was a totally different world 10 years ago. Like I think beauty was considered like a chill industry. Like there weren't that many people doing it. A lot of people ran away from fashion to come into beauty because it was a slower pace. Like it couldn't be any more different now. It's the polar opposite, actually.
Yeah. Now it's like a crazy game where everybody is trying to throw their hat in the ring, right?
Totally. Yes.
And it's like cutthroat. I mean, she was saying the same thing. She was just like, I don't know what's going on, like, and where it can go from here.
I always feel like there's like always throughout history, anyone I ever talk to in really any industry, like they'll always tell you the same thing. It could be beauty or whatever their thing is. They'll be like, don't get into my industry. It's so saturated. There's already so many people doing it. And like, eventually that's not true for some people. Like you are compelled to tell a story and like create a thing. And that's how I feel about it. And the discipline for me is staying in my lane, like being committed to the thing that I love to do, which is creating things, telling stories, like the actual joy and fun that I get out of that, and like kind of keeping blinders on about it, because then it's not about anyone else. It's just about like my expression. And like the smaller I keep that, actually, the like healthier and stronger the brand is.
Have you been tempted to go outside of your lane before?
So many times. And what I've learned is like, that's not my destiny, unfortunately. And it's so annoying because like, I think some people actually thrive in that. Like they see something that's working and then they pick up that idea and they do it and it works 10 times better. And it's like really good. And that like strategy works for some people. It's never once worked for me because it's not my destiny. And the positive way that I talk to myself about that story is I'm like, I guess like my role is to come up with new ideas, like kind of be an innovator, do things that feel really right to me, regardless of whatever else is going on. And sometimes that starts a trend. And when that happens, like, that's great. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. And you've talked about how you're very in tune with your intuition, right? And that has guided you throughout this whole process. So can you talk about how you came to, I guess, hone in on that and trust that?
I'm still learning how to hone in on it and trust it. The one thing about it is it's always there. It's so loud. Like for me, it comes almost as a voice, like a very clear sentence, like I'll hear it. And then I go through this process, and I've done this many times, of talking myself out of it, asking too many people their opinion, like going into the logic game. And only over the course of many years of either talking myself out of the thing that I like very clearly knew to be true from the beginning, and then seeing it manifest and watching myself go down the wrong path, and only to come back around and find out that that thing that I felt so strongly was the right thing to do. I'm learning how to hear that and like stay true to it, because that's, I think, just the hardest thing about intuition. And it's not every decision isn't purely that way. Like there isn't always a clear voice about certain things. Like some things aren't really intuitive and they do need to be researched. And like a lot of the decisions happen that way too. But when the voice is there, like just learning how to trust it is the biggest skill.
Yeah, I have that same thing. And I think I was talking about it on my solo episode yesterday, right, Tessa? And I was saying how, like, yeah, more times than not, I will honor that. But sometimes, like, I'm very stubborn and like to kind of be in self-will sometimes I want to do something and that voice will be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, and I do it anyway. And it's so interesting because oftentimes it will lead me down a road where, like, at first I'm like, oh well, there are no consequences, so like it must have been the right thing and that voice was wrong. And then something else happens as a result of that I'm like, oh, that's why I should have, like, it something happens, it sets things in motion in a way that I never could have expected, where then I look back and I go, oh, that's why I shouldn't have done that. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes. It takes a while to understand sometimes if it was like the right or wrong decision, or if something had a positive or negative effect. Sometimes you think like the thing is, this went really badly, and then only way later, like when more things happen, are you like, oh, actually I was being protected that whole time, or actually now I see why that happened and why it had to unfold that way. But it's like the final analysis hasn't happened yet. Every day in the whole situation, like we're still living, the life is still going on. I think there's so many things that have happened in my life or that continue to happen where I'm like, we'll see in sometimes like 50 years from now, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what was that old thing with the butterfly? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, where if somebody had stepped on a butterfly like 50 million years ago, like the world wouldn't be here today or something like that.
Is it the butterfly effect? Is that what it's called?
Is that the butterfly?
I don't know, but yes. Is that what they say in that? Okay, so I thought I discovered the butterfly effect, but... You just
doing
don't
amazing
know.
here, hanging on by a thread. I'm like that thing.
That butterfly thing.
That's so funny. Well, okay, so I want to rewind a little bit. So you started 10, almost 11 years ago with these 4 lipsticks, and your life was very different at that time, right? You had a baby?
I had a baby. I had a baby under 1. Yeah, 8 months old.
Okay. And you were married at that time.
I was married
as well.
Yep.
And in the last decade, a lot has unfolded, good and bad. But you talked about how there was about 5 years in there that were really difficult and really transformative for you. And I'm just curious, like, what that experience was like with so many things going on. I went through a divorce a few years ago, and it was many years of like separating, get back together, separate, you know, so it's a very long, slow unraveling. And then also simultaneously building this business and having ultimately what I would imagine are some really high highs while having really low lows. Like, what was that experience like for you?
I think that probably the time that you're talking about, so something like not a lot of people know is actually I've been married twice. And the marriage that you're talking about ending was my first marriage. And that was the one where I had my child, and it was longer term. And it was like, I really went into that with this very sweet dream of having just this nuclear family. And I think it was a really healing experience for me to even like form that thought of my own, because my family wasn't really like that growing up. And I wanted to make that for myself. And that ended for its own reasons. And after that, I got married a second time. And that was really where the lesson had to come for me, because what I didn't do in between those two experiences was like really fully come to terms with the idea that I don't need to be saved. And any little part of me, like any part of the little girl that like was still inside of me that was really at odds with what was happening externally for me, I think. And that's like sometimes the thing that seems a little confusing, because it's like on the one hand, you seem really accomplished and like have done all these things. But on the other hand, I'm just a person who's also having that feeling and the insecurities and like questioning whether I can do this on my own and like, am I valuable on my own? But it was a lot of programming that I had that said that, you know, as a woman, you're valuable if you're partnered or you're married. And that belief system caused me to overlook things that I should never, ever have overlooked. The person that I am today, which is the same person, but the process that I've gone through to like more so deprogram those ways of thinking and, feel great with myself, like learn how to be joyful in my solitude and enjoy my own company so much. Like that has, when I look back on some of the things that I overlooked or could have easily, not gotten myself into that, I'm like, wow, that's real evolution. And like, I really, really feel happy that that finally happened. I wish it didn't happen so late. Like, I feel like a little bit of a late bloomer in that way in my experience and process. But at the same time, it's been very valuable for me. And that's just been my journey. Like, that's kind of what's happened. And along the way, like, I always had this thing that kept on growing and was so like dear to me in my expression. And it was such a like, I can't even call it like, it wasn't really planned. It wasn't that I had this big grand idea. Like I had more of a calling of some kind to like just do this makeup brand. I had something to say about beauty. I love beautiful things. I feel destined to make beautiful things. And like that's my kind of position, I think, on the planet, like as I'm having this experience. And that has been there for me in a weird way. Like I've always had that while I've gone through these cycles of having to understand my personal life in a different way, which I think there's been some difference between the two.
Yeah, and I heard you saying in a different interview that, like, you've been through a lot of destabilizing things from those divorces, I would imagine. I mean, any divorce, even like in the best cases, mine was super amicable and like as kind and loving as could be, and it was super destabilizing. And also, you lost your home in the fire and all of that, but you said that your work and that calling for you has been one of your stabilizing things. I'm sure your daughter is another one. But it sounds like, your work is also kind of like a child.
It is. It's a place where I like, it's for me, and like it's a place of my expression. And my daughter is the like biggest, by far the most grounding force in my life. And it is like the greatest joy that I have. And if all of that had to happen just so I could have her, then that's okay.
Healthy choices can feel totally overwhelming, especially without a plan. But what if you could jumpstart your health and weight care journey with results in just 5 days, no injection needed? That is what makes Prolon's fasting mimicking diet a total game changer. It delivers real, sustainable benefits. And now with their new Next Gen program, you can experience the same science-backed cellular rejuvenative results in a cleaner, more convenient, and more flavorful format. So Prolon is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, and beverages designed to nourish the body while keeping it in a fasting state, which then triggers cellular rejuvenation and renewal. And NextGen builds on the original Prolon with 100% organic soups and teas, a richer taste, and ready-to-eat meals. It has been developed over decades at USC's Longevity Institute, and it's backed by top US medical centers. It's been shown to support biological age reduction, metabolic health, skin appearance, fat loss, and energy. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to actually fast. So I could never do a complete fast, but I could totally do Prolon because of the delicious meals that you get to have while you are doing it. So for a limited time, Prolon is offering listeners 15% off site-wide plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. Just visit prolonlife.com/blonde. That's PROLONLIFE.com/blonde to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. As we are approaching the holiday season, you might be thinking about gifts, and finding the perfect gift can feel impossible. You want something that's thoughtful, fun, and guaranteed to make people smile, which is why Baked by Melissa is my go-to. These bite-sized cupcakes are always a crowd pleaser, and they have flavors for everybody and beautiful, unique packaging for any occasion. It is the one gift I know will land every single time. So the cupcakes are made entirely by hand and turn any moment into a celebration. They have the most gorgeous boxes for any occasion. They have such a good one for Halloween that makes a great gift. The last chance to order with standard shipping in time for Halloween is Wednesday, October 29th, today, so get on that. They're also perfect to bring as a hostess gift, to send to a friend to show that you're thinking of them, or to treat your team and your clients with custom packaging. Baked by Melissa arrives in just 1 to 2 days nationwide, so you know that your treats will arrive perfectly fresh and right on time. And there's also something for everyone. They offer incredible gluten-free, vegan, and no nut options, making it easy to treat everyone that you love. My go-to if I'm going to somebody's house for a get-together or if it's for somebody's birthday is the box of fan favorites. I like to get the box of 100 because they are bite-sized and it has an assortment of everything and it is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. So right now, Baked by Melissa is offering my listeners 20% off your order at bakedbymelissa.com/blonde. That's bakedbymelissa.com/blonde for 20% off your order. bakedbymelissa.com/blonde. If you are listening to this podcast, then I think I know something about you, and that is that you do all of the things for your health and wellness. You probably try to eat really healthy. You probably are cognizant about the products that you use around your home and your body. But there's a category that so many of us overlook, including myself, and that is the cookware that we cook with. So a study by the Ecology Center in California found that 80% of nonstick pans contain Teflon, which can be released into your food, your home, and your body. In fact, a brand new study published in the Science of the Total Environment even found that a single scratch on a nonstick coated pan can release approximately 9,100 plastic particles, which is not something that you want to be ingesting. This is why I love Our Place. They make high performance, toxin free cookware. Their products are made without forever chemicals, so you can cook confidently without wondering what is in your pan except for what you are cooking. I love their cookware set. It totally upgrades your kitchen in one fell swoop and includes 2 multifunctional always pans and 2 perfect pots in mini and full sizes. It replaces your bulky, expensive stack of cookware, and you can sear, saute, fry, bake, boil, roast, steam, and more. You guys know I also love their blender. I make my matcha in it every day. They have an amazing revolutionary air fryer and toaster oven in one, their Wonder Oven. It's made from stainless steel and glass, so it's eco-friendly and it's good for you. And everything is also very aesthetic. So stop cooking with toxic cookware and upgrade to Our Place today. Visit FromOurPlace.com/blonde and use the code blonde for 10% off site-wide. With a 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping and returns, you can experience this game-changing cookware with zero risk.
How has going through all of that shaped both how you are in business and then outside of it? And how has it affected your confidence?
I think the different things have affected me in different ways. Like the relationship learnings, and it is a very destructive thing to like form a marriage and then end it. But the learning that I had to do and like becoming really confident and comfortable and being a bit more like non-delusional, because I think there's a lot of my mind playing tricks on me that there's no truth to the fact that I would need somebody else to save me. That is just a story I made up. And so unlearning that story has been hugely pivotal. That has been hugely pivotal and really empowering for me as a person. And I feel grounded in myself, having that knowledge. The fire was a different thing for me. That was like, it didn't bring me, it wasn't like something that I needed to learn and therefore this fire happened and it happened for a reason. I don't see it that way. But I think it really showed me just how much I value the idea of home and how important that is to me, and how like that creation of sanctuary, like for me and my daughter, really means a lot to me, even though it's a physical thing and it's a material thing, if you want to call it that, but it's not. I think there's a real symbolic thing about what a home is. And I've been able to very much feel that having lost one.
I'm curious, was there a time where you felt like there was a major inflection point when it came to growing your brand? I mean, I know that this past year has been like major for you. For me as an outsider, and this is something Shawnee and I were just talking about, like we look at other people online and we're like, they are killing it. And I'm like, I said that to her. I'm like, you're killing it. She's like, well, I don't feel that way. And I'm curious, like as an outsider, I feel like I've been aware of your brand since it started, I think, and been a fan of it for so long. And, we see people's highlight reels, but we also like see, all of your products in Sephora everywhere and like celebrities using it, and it's so beloved. And have you felt that the whole time? Or was there a point where things shifted and you felt like, okay, this is actually like turning into something more than I thought that it would ever be?
I so have not felt that the whole time. I still don't. I think because like a business always has to grow, like there's this feeling that it's not there yet, because it's not. There is no real end. There's no like finish line with it. So we're always in the process. And I think it still feels like a very small company to me, because it kind of is one. It's, it's not that many people working on something that is really personal. And the one thing that happens that I can't believe, like, is when people actually know what it is. Because for the first 7 years, like, people would ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, I have this brand. What is it called? It's called Kosas. Like, what's that? They have no idea. And that was really normal to me, because how would they know? I didn't expect anyone to know this little brand that I started. And then I would tell them about it. And the day that, like, a few people, when I would say, this is what I do and this is the brand, and they would know it, like, that has never gone away as shocking to me still, because it's only been a few years that I think that I've been having that experience, but it's amazing to me. And I don't take it for granted for 1 second, because I know, like, you've seen great brands exist and then just go away. And it's like, it takes a lot of work.
What about when you see like Hailey Bieber using your concealer? I mean, is that just like...
I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool. And she used it first, I want to say, like 3, maybe 4 years ago, maybe like 2021, 2022, something like that. And she wasn't still yet where she is today, like where it was like, she was more of a, like, if you know, like if you follow her, obviously I did. And it was amazing and exciting, just because I like seeing the product in the real world, and I like the way she was using it. Like, she was so intentional with it. It felt like a new perspective, because it wasn't like what I had been seeing forever. So it was just, yes, it was awesome.
And what effect does that have on your business?
If someone,
I'm sure like 4 years ago is a
influential,
little bit different than, if she's doing it today. But yeah, when somebody influential is like posting about it, do you see that reflect, I would imagine, in sales, or is it not exactly what people might think it is from the outside looking in?
it's not exactly like that live, just because there's so much activity going on behind the scenes at all times in the brand, and like in our marketing efforts and in our influencer relationships and in the media that we do. There's such a constant like stream of things going on that it's like hard to tell if it's one thing that's like, the spike isn't that crazy where you're like, oh, it was that one moment. It was more like that in the beginning.
I mean, I feel like I've seen, it's probably with smaller brands, but I remember like seeing a brand on TikTok where Taylor Swift used it or whatever. And all of a sudden they were like sold out, but it was like a 2-person operation where it's like they have their inventory in their apartment, like that kind of thing. So it's a much smaller operation where then you're able to just track that.
Yeah,
Whereas
you're
I hear
looking
you.
at the sales yourself, and then like it's maybe not that much inventory, so it's sold out in like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would be cool if Taylor Swift used
Yeah.
this.
Well, Taylor, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm sure she uses it. I mean, I feel like it's like,
I feel like I could see her using revealer concealer.
yeah, I feel like it's like the it girl makeup. I feel like it has been for a long time. So it's surprising for me to hear like that it wasn't until 7 years in that people started recognizing it or knowing what it was.
Barely.
That's crazy to me. And do you feel like this year has been a year of a lot of growth?
I feel like we've had steady growth, but like I think what happens is the steady growth means you eventually get to this like size where there's more weight, and like that weight, you can feel that weight in the marketplace. And even though the growth rate might be the same, but it's like if a dollar becomes $2 and then that becomes $4 and eventually it's $100, and it just, even though the growth's been steady, like the weight of that $100 is heavier than the one, so you feel it more in the market.
How do you learn all of this? Is it just from being in it? Because I imagine, what was your background when you went into
Not
Kosas?
anything corporate. Yeah.
How early on did you hire people to come in and do like operations and the finances and all of that?
Pretty late. Like
Really?
I did it all with like 1 or 2 like people that I still love so much, and we did it together for like the first 3 years, and then I want to say like 5 years in is when
Wow.
we got more like professionalized.
And how, I'm just curious about this. How many years in did it take for you to go into retail?
So I launched the brand in 2015 and entered into Sephora at the end of 2019.
So you were still like that small operation when you went into Sephora.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And Sephora like gets it because they're like the champion of indie brands.
Yeah.
So they work with small brands, and there is a process that we went through over the course of years before we got to where we are today. It was very slow and steady.
And you're still Sephora exclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we work with a few other people that I think are really important in like the storytelling of skincare and clean makeup, and and then we have a global business that's not necessarily Sephora exclusive.
How has your beauty philosophy changed since when you started?
I don't think my beauty philosophy has changed at all. I have always felt a very strong connection to my beauty routine. I've always taken it really seriously. I've always felt that whenever I feel my best is when I feel like getting up and like getting ready and putting on my makeup. And I find that process to be really fun for me. I've never gotten bored of doing my makeup, not once.
What's your makeup routine?
My makeup routine like kind of varies a little bit from day to day, and it used to not. Like I used to be like boom, 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 this order. Now I mix up the order and I do different things depending on what's going on. And my face has changed over the years. Like it's, there's always going to be slightly different needs, but I always do a serum, like my serum spray, the Plump and Juicy serum spray. That's my like ride or die. Like I get anxiety if I run out of that, and I've Instacarted it to my own house before if like I need it immediately. So it starts with that, and then like I do always wear sunscreen also, and then like just use coverage where I need it. I'm obsessed with color correcting. Like I find that to be so powerful because I can just use a tiny bit, but because like there's color theory, it just works really well. And then I like a good brow and a good lip liner and bronzer and blush. I do everything. I actually do all the steps.
All your products.
All.
Are there
All
any other
100%.
products that aren't yours that you use?
No.
I love it. I mean,
I know. And like I will change my beauty routine because we come out with new products. So like my look has changed over the years as when we came out with eyeliner, like then I started wearing eyeliner. When we didn't have mascara, I didn't wear mascara. Things like that. So, and I'm always like working on things a couple years ahead too. So I'll have that stuff on also.
Yeah, I was curious how long it typically takes for you for a product to be in formulation until it hits the shelves.
It takes about 2 years.
And is that because of the formulation itself, the componentry, just it's testing, everything?
It's literally all of that. It's like the developing the formula, the creating the packaging for it, like getting all of that made the right way, like making sure it works together. There's a lot of testing, trial and error, shade development. That's my favorite part of the process. I think it's just like creating the shades. It's all of that.
You've said that beauty is a reflection of your inner world. So how does that show up for you now?
It shows up every day in just the way that I actually do my makeup and the relationship to how I feel. Like I feel my most beautiful when I am rested, when I'm comfortable, when I'm well resourced, when I'm like all of those things internally first. And then my makeup becomes like a really fun part of that process of like putting myself together, and it's like my grooming and it feels really personal. And that's how it shows up. It's just so evident. Like I see it in people too. Is it like the feeling of someone's energy? That's what I feel like that is.
Yeah. I feel like you're very intuitive. Like you're very attuned to yourself, but to other people.
Yeah, I'm really sensitive too.
Yeah. I can tell. I feel like we're similar in that way, like sensitive to energy.
Totally.
And all of that. Yeah. Well, when you started Kosas, you were what, 29, 28, 29?
Was I 29? I was 30.
30?
30 when I launched the brand.
So are you 40 now?
I'm about to turn 42 next week.
Wow. You look amazing.
Thank you.
I feel like it's such like a banal conversation to have, but I sat here with Shawnee. She's 50, 51.
I just don't get
50.
that.
But I feel the same about you. And I was sitting with Maeve before, and she's like 40 or 39 or 40. And I'm like, is it just because like as we age, the age that we think is old is like this. So it's like a graph that keeps going up. But I mean, I feel like 40s now are not what 40s were 20 years ago. It's insane.
I think they're not. But then sometimes I think back and I'm like, when I was in my 20s and I would see a really beautiful, like self-possessed, confident woman, and I'm like, when can I look like that? And then I'd find out her age and she could be in her 40s or 50s. And I feel like you can't be that way until you get to that age. And like that's when you get to. So we still have like 50s to look forward to actually, because I look at women in their 50s and I'm like, it's the way you carry yourself, it's the confidence. It's that is like I really look forward to that.
I think self-possession is one of the most attractive qualities that anybody can have. And I agree with you. I was watching an interview before, I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow, and she's mid 50s maybe, and you look at her and she's not completely frozen and she doesn't have like flawless skin or anything. I've always liked her. I know she's kind of a divisive person, but I think she's very cool and like self-aware in who she is and what people don't like about her, and like she just gets it. She's in on it, and she has that self-possession and that self-awareness, and I'm like, she's beautiful. I think.
So beautiful, right? It's like so attractive. And then like you look at someone and you're like, can I ever be that pretty? Like it's so attractive.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you have that. You have this like calm, self-aware, self-possessed thing. And I'm sure that that's a result of a variety of things. I mean, I feel like some of that comes from going through hardship. It's like not, I don't know. It's just people who have it super easy don't necessarily come out with that
dimension.
Kind of, yes. Yeah. I'm like trying to think how I can phrase this.
Yeah, there is a dimension that comes when you've like had pain, and then you can enjoy joy a lot more, I think. Like sometimes I remember being younger and being like, what were you complaining about? Oh, you just hadn't experienced pain yet, sweetie, but it's coming, and then you'll be happy when you're happy.
Yeah. And it's not something that anybody wants to go through. And I think that sometimes like horrible things happen and they're just horrible. And I'm not one of those people where it's like, oh, everything happens for a reason. And like, oh yeah, you're the sickness or the house burning down or whatever, like it's all for a reason. But if you can find a lesson in it and you can find some kind of, I don't know, like get through that pain and learn from it, then, you know, I think that you can use it to add to that dimension.
Totally. And it's like at the very least, like I agree with you, by the way. Like I think that there's good things that happen in the world and there's bad things that happen in the world, and it's just energy, and like sometimes it happens to certain people and you know, it picks its energy. But to be able to witness yourself having survived something, like that does add something that no one can take away from you, because that's such an internal experience. Like I don't think there's any like really good reason for my house burning down, but I can say that I survived that. I feel and I know what it feels like to have gone through that, and the long aftermath that's ongoing about it, by the way, too, because I think like there's the moment and then there's the reality of like not having a place to live and all of the things that come along with it. As an example, but when you have those experiences and you live through them, you know that you can do things.
It is that time of year when we are all trying to figure out what gifts to get whom. And I have an idea, because there is nothing better than giving the gift of cozy. And I am talking about Cozy Earth. So I have a few ideas for you. First of all, they're bamboo sheets. Who doesn't love the gift of better sleep? These sheets are crafted from viscose from bamboo for a soft feel that keeps you cozy without overheating. This is huge. So it helps you to sleep several degrees cooler, perfect for snuggling on winter nights and waking refreshed for those holiday mornings ahead. And then they also have the bubble cuddle blanket. This is my favorite. It's the ultimate holiday gift for those cozy moments. It combines comfort and style with its distinctively textured bubble design and ultra soft faux fur feel. It features an extended plush pile and mid-weight construction. It's perfect for snuggling by the fire, movie nights with family, or adding a touch of luxury to any room. So this is a gift that makes every day feel like a special occasion. And if you're thinking about buying for yourself, what is better after the hustle and bustle of holiday season than slowing down, cozying up, and just being present. So right now you can give the gift of everyday luxury this holiday season and head to cozyearth.com. Use my code WELL for up to 40% off. Just be sure to place your order by December 12th for guaranteed Christmas delivery. And if you're listening after the 12th, don't worry, my code still works year round for 20% off. Again, that's cozyearth.com and the code is WELL. You guys know that I am a huge fan of Pilates. If you've ever taken a reformer class, you know how good it feels and how amazing it is for your body. But classes can also be expensive, time consuming, and honestly hard to fit into a real schedule, which is why I am obsessed with Your Reformer. They've basically brought the full studio experience into your home without sacrificing any of the quality. Your Reformer is helping you create your own Pilates haven at home. Don't miss their Black Friday sale, your time, your way, Your Reformer. This is not a flimsy fold-up situation, okay? These are high quality, gorgeous studio grade reformers that look stunning in your space. They come in the most beautiful aesthetic colorways. So think soft neutrals, warm oat, deep charcoal. So it feels like part of your home design instead of workout equipment that you want to hide. I just got one for my home and it is something that I want to be on display instead of something that I am tucking away. The best part is their on-demand app has over 900 classes, reformer and mat Pilates, from 15-minute express sessions to postnatal injury support to full body burners, and everything is guided so you're not just staring at your machine wondering what to do with it. And right now their Black Friday sale is live. You can save up to $1,333. Plus they're offering free US delivery and free gifts, which is huge because reformers are heavy. So visit yourreformer.com to shop their Black Friday sale on now until December 4th and save. If you're dealing with hair issues like thinning or shedding, but you feel totally stuck on what to try next, I get it. I have been there and I know how frustrating it is. There are so many products out there and it's definitely hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything, which is why I gave Nutrafol a closer look. And it's really not just hype. It is physician formulated, it's clinically tested, and even recommended by dermatologists. When I started using it back in 2022, it was not only recommended to me by my dermatologist, but also my hair colorist, a plastic surgeon friend of mine, an aesthetic nurse practitioner friend of mine. So it was recommended basically across the board. It is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted by over 1.5 million people. And you can feel good about what you're putting in your body because Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, which is the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Nutrafol also clinically tests final formulations, not just ingredient studies, to ensure their efficacy using a variety of hair measurement tools. So see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering my listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code BLONDE. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, code BLONDE.
Yeah, and then it gives you confidence. I mean, I look at my own journey and it's like getting sober. You know, at 28, I thought it was like the worst thing that could have ever possibly happened to me, and all of the horrible things that happened leading up to that moment. Now I look at it as like my superpower, and that's evidence to me that I can draw from when the next hard thing happens, to be like, no, okay, no, I've like been through hard stuff before. The divorce, something that to me seemed insurmountable. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through, like before sobriety or after. And that ultimately, and I'm trying to be sensitive because sometimes my ex hears things that I say on the podcast, and he and I have a good relationship and whatever. I told him I wouldn't talk about him, but but I came out on the other side of that with so much confidence in my ability to do hard things and to trust myself and to like be resourceful and walk through hard shit, because I was in a situation that I would say 9 out of 10 people would never leave, you know? So yeah, it's like you don't want to go through it, but we do. We go through it, and it's like
and like what you know as a woman now, no one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
That like deep knowing that you can handle very difficult things that you can take care of yourself by yourself and do a really good job at it, that is like, I hope that people have that feeling. I hope every woman gets that feeling at some point in her life. And I know that they don't. I know a lot don't ever have the luxury of like coming to that realization and knowledge, but it's so powerful and it's so stabilizing and it's so settling and it feels so good. Yeah. And no one can take that away from you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've been doing this meditation, which I won't get too off in the weeds about, but I've been thinking about this because it's like this 10-minute thing. And the one that I was doing yesterday, it's guided and you're just noticing what's happening in your body. And it's kind of like you're observing the observer, which is like a mind, because it's like, wait, where is the observer?
Yeah.
Like where? But he was talking about like the transient nature of things. And he's like, just notice when like a thought comes up and then like when it disappears, where does it go? And he said, when something appears, by very nature, that means that it's going to disappear. And it's like, that's everything in life, you know? So I think that's something, just if anybody is going through anything hard, that they can hold on to, like, in addition to everything else that we're saying here, is that like, it's not forever. And because you're experiencing it now, it means there's going to be an end to that experience.
Yeah. So enjoy the good times and don't stress about the bad times, because it's all going to flip and you're going to have all the different times. I think too, like, the idea of this whole like self-possession thing and what we're talking about, which is basically like going through a lot of hard experiences and then you get a lot of evidence because you witness yourself in these hard experiences. And I don't know if you ever went through this, like that feeling of imposter syndrome that people talk about when you're first starting out your career and it's like 20s, 30s. And it makes sense to me why someone in their 20s would feel that way. Like, you haven't experienced all the things yet. And what's beautiful about going through it is like that just slowly goes away naturally. There's no need to like push against it. It's not an odd feeling to have. Like, of course you're starting out and you haven't, figured out a lot of things, but like going through all these cycles, surviving them, looking back, learning from yourself, like that just makes it naturally go away. And I love that.
Yeah. I wouldn't go back to my 20s.
Never.
For anything.
Worst.
Maybe for like a summer and just go like party a little bit.
I don't even think so. I'd rather be this age and go party a little bit. I don't even want to go back to being 39.
Yeah. Oh.
Even that I don't want to do.
Yeah. 39. 39 was okay for me, but late 30s is tricky.
Yeah, 37 to 39, like you're approaching 40. It's a weird transition. Like you're not like a girl. Yeah. And it's confusing, and I've loved my 40s so far.
Yeah. I've only been 40 for a few months, but so far I love it. But yeah, the 35, I would say 35 to 37 for me was really weird, because I feel like post 35, you're like, this is happening. Like, I'm heading towards 40. I'm not in my early 30s anymore. I'm like past my mid 30s. 35, 30, 36 and 37, I would say, were the weirdest, because I was like, oh my God. And then 38, I just kind of accepted and it was happening.
They are really weird. You feel like old for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, why do we feel that way? I think 30s can be really boring for a lot of people, because it's like, it might be the time you're starting a family. Like you're just working really hard all the time and you don't have a lot of time for yourself. And you're like, it's like you're laying the groundwork for the rest of your life, but it's certainly not a super fun decade, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I've never thought about it that way. But you hear people say like 40s are the best, 50s are the best. I feel like whoever I talk to, the older they are, the older they say the best time
it is, right?
Yeah. Like everyone I know, like in their 70s, are like, this is the best time in my life. I mean, they wouldn't take certain like ailments here and there, but I think that so much of that comes with exactly what we're talking about, like going through all of these life experiences, gaining wisdom, gaining self-assuredness and that self-possession, and knowing who you are and like not giving a about the rest.
So if we've heard that all the time, then we should just be excited about aging.
I know, but it's so hard. I was going to ask you, like, because you are in the beauty industry and because you put yourself out there and you've kind of shifted from founder to creator, which is an interesting trajectory. You usually see the other way around. How has that been, aging, being in the beauty industry, turning the camera on yourself, all of that?
I haven't found it to be like difficult, really. I was never a model. I was never an actress. And I didn't grow up that way. So I think like I didn't have that ingrained pressure. And I talk about confidence, and I'm on a mission myself to feel comfortable. And the more I put myself out there, the more I'm like challenging that mission. And it's actually like part of the whole entire story that I'm telling. So it's not, I don't think that for me, like I'm kind of shy. So like that part's sometimes hard, but it's not so much about the aging part. I feel like I do my best to take pretty good care of myself and probably have some amount of good genes because my mom is 70 and like she still doesn't have a wrinkle, and I just don't get that. And she's never even had like a Botox or anything. So I don't know. But that, so I have that too. But like I try my within reason, like best to just be in maintenance mode.
Yeah. What are your beauty habits, tips, and tricks, if you can share them?
They're like pretty simple. There's nothing like super elaborate because like I also don't like use a lot of day to day. I would say like my makeup is my skincare. So like that's already that. The skincare that I use is like only the Kosas stuff that I have, which is super minimal too. And then like whatever I'm working and testing. But I don't do like a multi-step routine. I am far too lazy for that. That's crazy. I sleep with a sleep mask. I put my hair in a low ponytail when I sleep. I wear like comfortable pajamas and I keep the room cool and I like do that. But I am not super obsessed with it either because I have been, and then that doesn't feel good. So that's like a big part of it. And then I exercise, which I feel like is important too, and consistently for many years. And then I'll do like a few things, like I do microneedling with PRP 2 to 3 times a year. And I find that to have been the most effective thing that I do out of everything. And like I started doing it maybe 3 years ago, and it took like I feel like I can see the results get better and better over the course of the years. So
yeah,
I
your
love
skin's
that.
bananas.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, I know it's also the makeup products, but like you can tell, you're not covering anything.
I have like oily, acne prone skin. Like I get breakouts and stuff from time to time. I double cleanse like a crazy person. That's my like non-negotiable skincare thing. So like I do like, and I take my time with it too. Hot towel always. I keep it simple.
Oily skin is the best because it doesn't wrinkle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I want to ask you some lightning round questions to close out. What is your most unhinged recent beauty purchase?
I have bought like 7 of this one sleep mask. I need this thing every single night, and it's this like beautiful silk sleep mask. And I'm so worried about losing it or like leaving one when I travel. And I now have 7 of them.
Who makes it?
Door and Rose.
I mean, I think silk, like when I was on my no Botox journey, that was one of the things that made such a big difference, especially with the eye area, because I sleep on my side. So if I'm on that like cotton pillow, it's just like taking off all the hydration and soaking up whatever skincare I have on there. And yeah.
Okay, maybe try the eye mask.
I'm going to try that one. I tried another silk one, but it was, I don't know, I wasn't consistent with it. Morning ritual versus nighttime ritual.
My biggest morning ritual is like time. I give myself time. I'm not one of those people who can wake up and like get out of bed and get immediately in the shower and then put on my outside clothes and like make a coffee to go and leave. Like I don't understand how anyone can do that. I need at least an hour and a half before I even get ready. So like that ritual is critical to me. And I'm one of the most inconsistent people in the world, but I consistently have that hour and a half. And that's when I have my coffee, and it takes me like the full hour to drink the cup of coffee.
Yeah, we're the same because I have to ease into my day no matter what. Even if I'm getting up at like 5:30, I can get up early, but I need that time. My boyfriend will wake up, open his eyes. He doesn't drink coffee or anything. He just raw dogs the day every day. And he has one mood, happy, and one energy, which is full of energy. And he'll jump out of bed and go to the trainer. Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like worse, have you ever seen anyone jump out of bed and put jeans on immediately? I'm like,
he does that. If he's not going to the trainer, he'll jump out of bed, put jeans on, and go to the Beverly Hills Hotel to go to the coffee shop to have breakfast every single morning.
See, I can't
At
do
like
anything
7,
in public.
like 6:45. So I'm like,
I love
sometimes
that.
I go with him on the weekend because I have to be a good girlfriend.
Yeah, that's nice of you.
But I'm like, God, this is early. Like, oh my God.
It's too early to be
Crazy.
like out in the
No,
world.
I need to be in my robe. I get back in bed with my matcha, putter
Yep.
around, do my things.
yes.
Yeah, I feel you. What about nighttime?
Nighttime is my one nighttime favorite thing, and it's not all the time, but my favorite thing is family dinner. Like sitting down at the dinner, which is me and my daughter, sitting down at the dinner table with her. I love that as the closing to my day. So if like everything is crazy, which it always is, I at least know I'm going to have coffee for an hour and I'm going to have dinner probably with my daughter. And then like it's okay if everything else is insane.
I love that you bookend your day
Yeah.
and it makes it like manageable. What is your go-to scent?
Go-to scent is a fragrance by Dead Cool. Do you know that
I've been
brand?
seeing that one everywhere.
It's called Sunlit Blooms.
Okay.
And it's like it's exactly the type of scent I like. It's kind of like it's lightly sweet, but it's like a little bit sandalwoody. It's a little like earthy too. It's not floral at all for me. It's beautiful.
Amazing. I need to try it because I've been seeing Dead Cool like everywhere.
It smells really good, and like it doesn't give me a headache, which most fragrances
Yeah,
do.
I get headaches too from everything. What's a beauty trend that you secretly love, even if it's a little cringe?
God, is there a beauty trend right now? I guess overlining. Like I know it's like maybe a little tacky, but I love it. I
don't
think it's so
tacky.
cute.
Yeah, I don't think it's tacky. I love an overline too. What is a belief you're currently shedding?
I guess I've been shedding the belief that like I can't do it, whatever it is, and like becoming really good with like yes I can, and I can figure things out, and I can be organized and handle my life and do it by myself.
What makeup item from Kosas feels the most you?
I think revealer concealer, like in the end it feels the most me because it's really comfortable and I'm obsessed with being comfortable. Like I just cannot simply be uncomfortable. I physically can't handle it. And that is like that. It has like this softness and this weightlessness. And then it's like just the Goldilocks amount of coverage where it's like some but not too much, but it's enough, like it's transformative. So it's like that in the middle balance, I guess. And like I'm always looking for balance. So that one represents that to me.
I love it. And that's like the best. I mean, all of the products are amazing, but that's like that girl.
That's
Yeah,
that's the one.
sure.
She's the one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much
fun.
for
Tell
having
everybody where
me.
they can find you, find Kosas, all of that.
They can find me at Sheena on Instagram, and Kosas is at Kosas on Instagram and TikTok.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.